This instructional video is to show you how to use the test set battery chargers. This is the test set here. It's used for testing the DCCU, the DC charging unit. These come in 14 and 28 volt variants. The 14 and 28 volts refers to the input voltage. It doesn't refer to the output voltage. The output voltage is always around about 28-30 volts to charge up the batteries. There is also an ACCU, which is the AC variant, a lot bigger, 16 charging channels as opposed to the one output channel on this. So the DCCU, you've got a yellow lamp here, which indicates the charging is going on, and you've got a green lamp here, and it goes green when the charge of the battery is complete. It can sense it. There's little diodes in the battery which tells the DCCU when the battery is fully charged. Some variants of the DCCU have got a flash fault mod on there, so it senses when the battery is duff and the light flashes green, and it tells you that the battery is not working, so change it. Also, you've got on some of these you've got the white plastic surround, on some of them you don't. That's another mod which basically protects the cable from the charging cable. Let's get one of those charging cables from moving around a bit. It basically just keeps it in there and avoids breaking the cables, which is quite a common fault. So the ACCU, as I said, 16 charging channels, simple. There's the AC input, and there's your charging channels, and they've all got yellow and green, green charging lamps on there as well. Simple as that. Right then, let's test this DCCU out. I'll show you how easy it is to use this test set. The test set does come with a lid. There are instructions in there, but don't worry too much about that, because I'll show you how easy it is. You don't need to measure all the voltages accurately, because the test set isn't calibrated anyway, so whatever you read, it doesn't matter. It's either on or off at the end of the day. I've never seen a DCCU with a fault where it's slightly off. There's normally some cables in there. It doesn't really matter if they're not in there. All you need to test the cables is a standard 4-pin charging lead like this, with 4 pins at that end, and at the other end 4 pins in a square formation there. Okay, so what we're going to do is check out the 14 volt DCCU we've got here. So you plug the input power in, standard Clansman 2-pin power lead, and the other end goes into our AC adapter here, making sure we're at 14 volts. Doesn't matter what power unit you use for the DCCU, as long as it's capable of running at 6 amps and it gives you 14 volts, we're done. Okay, so power's on. Get your lead, make sure you've got the male and female bits the right way around, and plug it in. Make sure that both of the switches are down. The left hand one is a lamps on and off, so if you switch that off, the lights go out. So before you think it's dud, make sure you've got that switch down there. So the first test, you put the left hand knob here to the T position and the right hand knob to the 1 position there. This test set doesn't need power. It's just basically measuring stuff on the DCCU. The DCCU is the only thing you need to power up, so it's a passive device. Test set T, you'll see the dial is in the middle. Simple as that. There are voltage readings on there, but don't worry about it. Any fault you see on this at this setting, the meter reading will either be all the way over to the left or all the way over to the right. If it's somewhere in the middle, you're fine. Turn it to 1. Meter reading moves a little bit. Fine, as long as it's in the middle again. Test set number 2, yellow light goes on, meter reading in the middle. Number 3, yellow light is still on, meter reading in the middle. Test 4, this isn't applicable to the DCCU or the ACCU, so you may get some funny light indications and some noises and some meter readings. Don't worry about that, it's irrelevant. Number 5, again, as long as you've got a meter reading, the light won't be on, it doesn't matter. And finally, test number 6, you'll see the light is on yellow and the meter reading is roughly in the middle. Now you flick around the dial here through 1, 2. As you're doing this, the light will go green, then yellow, and the dial will go off and then on like this until you get to a point, normally around 7 or 8, where it goes green and stays green. like that, and that's your test done. DCCU working, test complete. The ACCU, pretty much the same, to be honest. Let's fire it up. So let's take out the DCCU, plug that same cable into one of the channels on here. Obviously you've got to check all the channels. It's very rare you'll get an ACCU with all the channels working, so you do have to check every single channel, because there will be individual faults on individual ones. It's not a case of if one works they'll all work. So plug it in as per before, set the test dials to T and to 1 again, exactly the same as before, no difference whatsoever. Flick it round, you'll see it go into the middle, you'll see the yellow light go on, hurrah. Get it down to position number 6, and then you start fiddling around with here. Flick it round, you'll see the lights go green, it flashes on and off there, and you'll see the meters in the middle until, again, it's number 7 on here. Light goes green, meter down, gone, finish charging, job done.